What up, YouTubers? Matt Yari here, coming to give you that YouTube content that you crave, kind of like Brondo. It's what plants crave. I'm just here to free associate and let the Holy Spirit speak through me. What am I going to talk about? Last night, I had dinner with my family. And I love my family very deeply. Let me start with that. I love my family very much. But, you know, like any other family relationship, there's some complications there. I would call myself a bit of a, let's say, the black sheep of the family. I just have a tendency to question things and my family is like, what the fuck? Why can't you just stick to the script, you know? They want me to, I guess, toe the proverbial line of, you know, all the things that we sort of as a family were brought up on, you know? Your parents have certain beliefs, inevitably, and we all have beliefs. And one way or another, those beliefs are going to be sort of implanted into your kids. And that sort of turns into your family culture. And I, for whatever reason, am a bit of a rebel in that sense. I don't know. I have to question things. I've spent my life kind of looking for answers, things that just didn't make sense to me. And anyways, so that creates a lot of tension, you know, with me and my family, and they sort of wish that I would just go back to accepting their views on certain things. And they're also dying for me to get married. And they believe that my kooky beliefs part of the reason that I'm not married yet. So I've been seeing this girl, and I'm only recently telling them about her, and someone in my family was like, don't tell her your ideas about, banking and shit like that. Because I think the banks are evil, and I think the banks create the vast majority of the problems in the world, and then get us as the population to believe that it's basically your neighbors that are causing these problems, when it's just the financial system at its baseline, just the way the whole global economy works. But we don't get into that right now. So someone in my family was telling me to not talk about that with this girl. And, you know, it didn't really... I kind of brushed it off, and I told him, like, that's like the first thing I'm going to tell her, because I don't want a relationship to be sort of based on this false assumption of who I am, you know? I want to put that all out there immediately and up front. And I guess what I'm really getting at is not being ashamed of who you really are, right? I used to be very ashamed of who I am for various reasons, and it's the reason that people lie compulsively, and, you know, I'm a little disappointed that my family member encouraged me to not express myself honestly, you know, as if I wouldn't be able to attract someone and she wouldn't love me if I were to express non-conventional beliefs. So, and the other thing that I've come to understand is that, at least in this particular case, I don't know if it's always the case, but I know when this particular family member gives me advice, it's always just completely based on their personal experience. And it's not really catered to advice. It's just to do what they did, right? And they just sort of misapply these principles to their own experience. I mean, I knew exactly what was going on when that advice was given. So I was able to brush it off. But today I'm thinking about it. And I'm kind of thinking about what I should have said to my family at that point. Because what they're essentially saying is, if you express yourself, you're not going to be loved. It's kind of fucked up when you think about it. It doesn't mean I don't love my family. I know they love me. But we all live in a world. The world that you live in is a reflection of your beliefs. Whatever you believe to be true about the world, that is the world that you live in. Which is interesting when you think about it, because we all think that we're objective. We all think that we know what the world is and how it works. But they say, I think it was what Henry Ford said, whether you believe you can or cannot, you're right. It's whatever you believe to be true is true for you, and you are going to live according to those beliefs. So what beliefs are you holding on to that are dictating your reality? Beliefs about yourself, beliefs about the world at large. And for me personally, I've been going through questioning many beliefs I've had about the world. And now I'm going more deeper into the process of questioning beliefs I have about myself. Because that's really where the rubber hits the road. What beliefs do you have about yourself? The life that you're living right now is 100% a reflection of the beliefs that you have about yourself. If you believe that you are destined for success, you will find success. If you believe that you're destined for failure, that you're not capable, you're not going to achieve the things that you want. You're not going to have the things that you want. And quite frankly, I'm just going to open up. Right now, I don't really have the things that I want. And I've had so many beliefs that I'm not capable of making those things happen. So it's just a matter of questioning that. And one thing I've been doing to combat that, there's different techniques. One thing I'm trying now, I've been doing it for maybe about a year now, kind of inconsistently, but now I'm doing it more proactively. So I have an alarm that goes off at 6 a.m. every day. And I don't necessarily get my day started at 6 a.m. But recently what I'm doing is when that alarm goes off, 6 a.m., I'm awake. And I basically do a meditation. And I envision, that's my time to visualize. I sit down, I visualize who I want to be. Visualize the things I want to attain. And then I channel the feeling of achieving those things. Sometimes I go back to sleep. But I think by taking that time to sort of basically reset my nervous system to attune to those beliefs and those outcomes. So we'll see how that works out for me. And if you follow these videos, you'll see how it works out too. So, I don't know, that's my little rant for today. Thanks for checking in, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.